We'll call the annual organizational meeting for October 17th, 2023 to order. Adoption of the agenda. Somebody wish to move the agenda? Chris, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 3, the minutes of the organizational meeting for October 18th, 2022. Any errors or omissions? Or just for information? Okay. Okay. Just for information? Amanda, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 4, establish regular meeting times, 4.1. The first and third Tuesdays of every month here in council's chambers. Somebody wish to move that?
What do people think about moving that like that? No, like back.
You mean up to, you mean up?
6.
5.
No, I can't. No.
No.
Middle of the day.
No.
I would be, if we were to do that, I would be unable to attend meetings.
Move that? Yes. All in favor? Moving on to item 5, review appointments and boards, commissions, and committees. Amanda, you wanted one change. I forget what it was.
Yes, I had discussed with Councillor Buck about me taking over the NWP Advisory Committee position. Maybe not necessarily taking over as co-chair. I'm not sure if that would need to get kind of bounced or changed around, but
Vanessa? Yeah.
yeah, the two
Well,
co-chairs.
Vanessa normally runs the meetings, so.
Yeah.
So we'll do that change. Any other changes anybody wants to make? Or wishes to discuss? I wish to move that as amended. Joe, all in favor? And that's carried. Moving on to 5.2, administrative appointments. As you can see there, we have CAO, ARB, SDAB, auditor, assessor, bylaw officer, and financial officer. Somebody wish to move that? Paul, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 6, deputy mayor appointments, 6.1. As you can see there, was there any changes to that, or we go
So,
same?
yeah, so all this reflects is the current situation.
Is everybody okay with the way it is right now, or does, I know July and August sometimes people like to leave, and we have moved it around, like just bumped everybody down or back, or are we good with the way it is? Okay, somebody wish to move it?
Works for me. Yeah, I'll move it.
Okay, Tim's moving it. All in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 7, established banking institution. That's Service Credit Union. Was that? Okay, Stan's gonna move that. All in favor? You're abstaining, I'm assuming? One abstaining? And motion to adjourn. Oh, sorry, yeah, you wanted to bring something.
Yeah, I wanted to know what your guys' thoughts were on council pay.
Oh,
Okay, well, we can have that in Cal meeting, we're having a budget Cal meeting on Tuesday. I'll put, that's more appropriate place to have it. That's fine. Okay.
okay. Do you want to move the
We'll have that.
German? Okay. All in favor? Carried. All right, we'll move to our regular council meeting. Yep. Wait for Daryl to catch up.
Who adjourned?
Paul. Just let me know when you're ready. All right. We'll move to our regular council meeting of October 17th, 2023. First item on the agenda is a public hearing, 2.1, bylaw 1088-LUO 2023, land use bylaw amendment, rezoning C1 and C2 to R3. Comments from the development officer.
Just that we've advertised for the required 2 weeks. I've received no comments or any feedback from that.
Okay. Any comments from the public? Sure. Okay. All right, and item 2.3, council discussion. Any comments by council? Hear anything out in the public or anything like that, or?
Nope.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. Okay, motion to close the public hearing. Tim, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 3, adoption of the agenda for October 17th, 2023. Any additions, deletions to the agenda? Dan's moving the agenda, all in favor? And that is carried. Moving on to item 4, adoption of the minutes of October 3rd, 2023. Any errors or omissions that anybody can see?
I will move.
Okay, Amanda's moving that. All in favor? And that's carried. Moving on to item 5, reports. 5.1, the mayor's report. Hasn't been an airport meeting for a while. No emergency management. North Peace Housing is having an awards ceremony here in town on Saturday night. And quite a hectic weekend in our community with events in every location, with hockey games and Night of Stars, United Church Turkey Supper, the Fine Arts is having something, a fundraiser. What's that?
The library?
Library, and there's still something else that I'm missing. But yeah, both Friday and Saturday are just swamped with events. Oh, in the chamber, yeah, Night of Stars. Thanks, Paul. That was the one I was missing. That we have a upcoming FCSS meeting here next month, and basically that's my report. And thank you, Joe, for stepping up and doing the orientation on Monday. Okay, and that's my report. Somebody wish to move? Chris, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to 5.2, the CAO report. Daryl.
Okay, thank you. Just some items there for the committee of the whole meeting next week. So that'll be just kind of things, plus we'll talk about council rates as well. Legion banners were supposed to have started today, but they had a major snafu with the water break, so that's going to get delayed here a bit. ICF meeting, we just talked about October 23rd, 10 will be at MD. The next medical clinic, health professional, November 20th. Jenna's working on the event summit planned for November 16th. I continue to recruit for the legislative coordinator position. We just talked about the Chamber of Commerce Gala and Awards, October 20th, so this Friday. Had that value scoping here the other week there at on campus. I guess was there any discussion? Is there any takers for the tickets for this Saturday in Grand Prairie for the President's Ball?
You were talking about it, Tim, weren't you?
I was, and then I found out my wife had already bought tickets for the mystery dinner.
Right in town. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
she's the boss.
I already told Vanessa that I'm tied up and can't make it.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm out at the Halloween stuff.
I'm already
On behalf of the town, thanks.
Are you sure you want that? I will become belligerent.
So at NWP Fairview campus will be doing, regarding their expression of interest, the tour of the houses tomorrow from 10 till 2. Orientation, again on NW for the next intake is going to be on Monday at 8:30. And that is my report, Mr. Mayor.
Any comments or questions for our CEO?
Maybe it's for, you guys, go to that early meeting?
Actually, I was at the curling rink meeting. We actually hosted it here in the curling, or in the council chambers. There was over 60 people here that night for the meeting. That, you got a new executive, the new president of the curling club is Clint Wild. That, they had lots of discussion, lots of interest in doing something. They're waiting to get Daryl some information on.
I'm waiting for some information.
Yeah. So until that gets to Daryl, nothing can happen, but there's potential that if funding could come together and that, you know, the curling club could potentially open maybe February. If everything clicked. If not, it'd be potentially next year if funding's available. But actually, no, it was a great meeting. There was very positive. We actually even had support from Grimshaw come down to say, hey, don't give up. We were shut down for 5 years and we're just rebuilding. So it was actually nice to see the people. I actually didn't expect that many. For standing room only, the people are standing in the hallways out here. Thanks to Pavel for helping us get chairs and put stuff back. we took chairs out of the entire office to bring them in here. So, okay. If there's no questions for Daryl, somebody wish to move his report? Tim, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to 5.3, Councillor Amanda.
All right, so since our last regular council, I've attended 2 meetings. I attended my regular, the Recreational Advisory Committee. Some quick highlights from that. So the town is currently in the process of getting some new notice boards. There was a slight, the word given to me was kerfuffle with ownership and that sort of thing, with just some general misunderstanding with who specifically took care of those notice boards. So the town is specifically looking at getting 3 new ones for the cost of between $7,000 to $8,000, looking at an FCSF grant specifically to help, you know, recoup some of those costs, be nice public boards and accessible spots, open, more space, that sort of thing.
Is that the one that was in the post office there?
Yes.
Yeah, we had no idea that. we were given no notice. We had no idea.
A kerfuffle.
All of a sudden they're gone. We're like, what happened?
Yeah. So currently working on getting new ones put up in place. Some new spots being the post office, possibly talking to Friesen about putting one out in front of, kind of affixed to their front of store. Some general options kind of thing. Facility updates, the pool has been shut down to undergo their beam repair for the facility. So they're expecting earliest completion for that project to be about mid-November, if I wrote down the correct dates.
End of October.
End of October, sorry. Thank you, Darren. And then games at the hockey arena started up early this year, so that's been some additional facility usage for the arena for this September, which is excellent to see. The minutes for that meeting should be attached if there's any other questions. I also attended the NWP Advisory Committee on behalf of Councillor Buck. Some updates from that. The committee voted on 3 new members. I can't speak anymore today. The committee voted on 3 new members at large for the committee. They also estimate that STM will be on site for a minimum of 2 to 3 more months. And regarding what's been going on with STM and school facilities, Adam Murray said that there's a strong case for the capacity for 2 new schools based on regional info. However, he said there was more funding would be likely if that was to be put towards a joint facility as opposed to 2 separate school facilities. But all that was just very up in the air, based on regional studies, not based on anything specific. And unless there's any questions, I will move my report.
Are there any comments or questions for Amanda? Okay, she moves her report. All in favor? Carried. Moving on to 5.4, Councillor Fleming.
I attended the joint council meeting October 5th. Health Professions Enhancement Committee and Medical Clinic meeting was on October 6th. And then our conversation with Emily, the parliamentary secretary, Martin Long, on the 16th.
Tim and myself were part of that.
Yes.
Anything else?
That's it.
Any comments or questions for Joe? All in favor? Carried. Moving on to 5.5, Councillor Buck. All in favor? Carried. Moving on to 5.6, Councillor Stan.
So minutes are attached for the last 2 meetings. I actually reported on it at the last council meeting. So if anyone has any question on those, feel free. We also held the landfill commission meeting yesterday. That was our initial budget meeting. Things are looking relatively stable. I don't think it doesn't look like there will be a major change to the requisitions from the landfill this year. So there was a meeting yesterday. Yes. You still didn't get a notice? Okay, I'll check again with the, because I had asked him to make sure.
Are the other administrators getting it?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I'll check my email. Yeah, and then we also held a hiring committee meeting with the library. We started the recruitment process for a new library manager there actually today, so that would be my report.
Your landfill meetings, are they during the day now?
Yeah, they're holding them at 1.
Yeah, I see on your last thing it was 1 p.m. and then
1 in the
evening.
afternoon. And on Mondays, tends to be working out better than the Thursdays. There was a lot of conflict on Thursday evenings because of library meetings, actually.
Any other comments or questions for Stan? All in favor? Carried. Moving on to 5.7, Councillor Lowry.
Economic development, and
So you're gonna move it? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to 5.8, Councillor Schindel.
The only meeting that I attended in the last couple of weeks was the rec advisory. Amanda led that meeting and she shared a bit of the agenda there. I provided notes from the last meeting. I did present an award to swimmer Alex Ross, and that's it. The upcoming ICF meeting on Monday. And I'm attending a Mighty Peace Tourism meeting in Peace River tomorrow evening. That's my report.
That's the trails one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any comments or questions for Tim? All in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 6, unfinished business. 6.1, request from the Fairview Daycare and Play School Society. This came up at the joint use meeting, and it was they submitted the MD letter. So now we're here to discuss the letter that they sent to the town. Everybody have a chance to look at it? Yeah, if you want to go over the request for it.
Okay, so I just supplied council just the request for some direction there, just to kind of lay out the options. kind of some consequences there. So I sent this to the MD CAO as well. So he's going to replicate a similar document for the MD Council. So the options are obviously don't make any changes and just keep with the current bylaw lending terms. Council moves forward and adopts an updated lending bylaw with the requested terms of $4,000 a year. This will require a new bylaw that will have to be advertised and will repeal the current lending bylaw. 3 would be waive the remainder of the outstanding loan as a grant. Then it requires repealing of the current bylaw. The budgeted amount would then be recognized as a grant, so as an expense in 2024 budget. So it'd be an extra $100,000 expense in 2024. And then just a resolution of council or another as directed by council.
So what's the feeling? The only one who wasn't at the joint use was Paul, I do believe. Everybody else was there. I think, were we all there? I think we were all there. So what's the feeling of council?
You know, I'd like to just waive. I don't want to vote. I don't want to.
I say reduce it at their request.
You're saying,
Just take it down to the 4,000 that they want.
okay. Amanda, what's your thoughts? Or do you want to just come back to you?
Come back to me.
Tim?
I'm on the fence. I would like to forgive it or turn the remainder into a form of a grant. But, you know, looking at their finances, they were optimistic that they not only could make the payments at the requested reduced amount, but they were fairly optimistic that they could, over time, you know, continue to gain their footing back from COVID and be able to get back up to the payments they were making before. So I tend to lean maybe towards that a little bit, that, you know, there was an original agreement that they would pay the money back. And as long as they seem to appear to be able to do that, albeit over a longer period of time, we should stick with that for now. Until things become dire. They're not dire right now, so, but I would this time agree with Joanne.
Chris? Okay. Stan?
I'm the same boat. I don't think I would support forgiving it, but reducing it to $4,000 for the short term. I know there were some discussions there where they thought possibly in the future, if the situation improves, they may request to pay it back in a quicker schedule as well. So that's kind of where I'm sitting for now, to accept their proposal to reduce the payments to $2,000 twice a year.
Okay. Amanda?
Yeah, I agree. Changing the requested proposal of $4,000 a year is, as they request, it makes the most sense considering their financial statements and what they're kind of hoping to move forward with and achieve.
And I kind of sided with Paul there. I thought we'll waive the whole thing, but, you know, it's a lot of money and where we're gonna come up with, so then it was kind of
We waive that, which is
turned into a
there's
grant.
nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah.
eventually we need to, you know, that's money we're not gonna use somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we have a finite amount of money that we can use overall.
It's an option we have later.
Yeah.
And there's always
Yeah.
an option to the.
Yeah, we're not gonna let them fail, but
No.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mostly shy away from that option this year, knowing in the next year we have a lot of capital projects coming up.
Okay, so Somebody want to make a motion, one way or the other?
So it'll be a direction motion, because we'll have to bring a bylaw back. So it will just be a motion to direct administration to bring the bylaw, a new updated lending bylaw, reducing the term to $4,000 a year.
Number 2, option.
Yeah, or just say option 2. Yeah, you could just say, okay.
Okay, somebody wish to make the,
Correct.
okay. Okay, Chris is making that. All in favor? Opposed?
Why not?
Carried. All right, moved on to item 6.2, NBA Fairview number 136, Regional Police Force Grant Request for Support. This was also discussed, we discussed this at our last meeting, and then we had discussion on this at the Joint Council. What's the feeling of everybody around the table?
I think now that they've given us, that they understand that town doesn't support a local police force due to the cost, that if they want to go ahead with applying for the grant to do the study, there's nothing wrong with having the information, and we would support that.
I agree with that. In that last meeting, it was clear this is just exploring it, understanding it, doesn't necessarily mean we're committed one way or another, but we do want to allow ourselves the opportunity to look at the information, i.e., a study, and then, we can ask our ratepayers, have you looked into this, have you, we can say, here's what we've done, and here's what we feel. Doesn't mean necessarily everybody put it in order, we're just giving ourselves more information.
Anybody else?
When I look at the grant application, so the item there is a letter documenting support and/or partnership from leadership. There's no real indication there of what that level of support is, like what does, I guess what I'm after or looking for here is what are we planning on saying we support in this letter? Like are we going to say that we support them like in the endeavor of establishing a police force, which we don't, or we're just support it? It doesn't make, what I'm trying to get at, I guess, is it doesn't make sense to me. Why are we sending them a letter of support for something that we don't support?
Well, that's my general feeling, and when I read that, they can get that $30,000 whether we support it or not.
Right.
And I'm still opposed to support. That's my general feeling.
I missed that.
Well, we made it very clear at that meeting, we would not entertain nor fund in any way this.
Paul, your thoughts? Okay. Okay, oh, Tim?
I would say we can, as long as we clearly state in the letter that we support their inquiries on or applying for the grant program. However, as stated, you can even list our date of our last meeting with them. We would not be entering into proceeding any further with the regional police force joint with them or on funding it in any way. I don't know. As long as that was clear in the letter.
I know that's
Correct.
one of the things too.
Correct.
You know, like I could say, we support your guys' as, my general feeling, if we're gonna write a letter to them, we support your application, go for it. But no, nothing else.
We support your application.
Your letter of
However,
application, we're not
however,
supporting
we
anything
will
with
not, we will not partner with you in the endeavor,
No.
in in kind or in finance of any kind.
But like I said, to support the application for it, we can't afford it. And that, then, you know, if they want to bring a regional police force to our area, by all means, go for it. Have we heard from Clear Hills County on it?
Did they make the same request to Clear Hills?
My understanding they did. That's what they said at the meeting. 'Cause at the meeting there, I said, well, if you guys in Clear Hills County support it, basically the village and the town are included. Joe, your thoughts?
We're being recorded, so I have to think about how I can frame that. I think telling them that they should go ahead with their inquiry for information on the costs is theirs to do, that we don't oppose that. But other than that, we don't plan on ever supporting a regional police force.
Okay.
We're in support of their
Inquiries, they're
inquiring,
gathering of that
using
information.
this grant application to acquire the information, but it's not indicative of our support of a
That's the
regional,
wording.
Partnering.
partnering in a regional police force.
Amanda, your thoughts?
Reflects those before me. Yes, like again, yeah, we don't. Everybody said it the exact same way and better than me. So, yes, just I reflect
Do you want to say something?
previous counselors.
Based on what I'm hearing, can I propose a proposed motion that somebody may want to entertain?
Sure.
Okay. Council supports the MD's application for the grant, but would not support a regional police force.
That's perfect.
Yep.
I would put in there that it's not indicative of our support. It leaves it open. What happens if the report comes back and says, well, that was the best thing we've ever seen? We're going, maybe we should look at it. I don't know. I don't want to water down the strength of the motion, but I just say it's not indicative of our support of a
Regional police.
regional
I like that.
police force.
I like it.
I like indicative better.
And call, do whatever you want. What's that?
Calls man's big words.
So-
Leave me alone.
That's a more open answer than the area does.
Yeah, and that's what I thought, you know.
So are
Something
you,
that's maybe a little more,
Chris, are you making that motion then?
yes, I will.
Okay. You want your, you got it down there?
No,
Okay.
I put
Okay.
indicative
You
in.
earned that one.
No, I didn't.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. All right, moving on to new business, 7.1, Lions request to terminate agreement.
We have to give an information or what?
I think we just have to approve.
Just accept their, council accepts their written request for termination.
Okay. You're moving that, Paul? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 8, finance, 8.1, update the 2023 capital plan. Requires resolution. Is this yours?
Yeah, well, yeah, this is, so what this does is, in the past, a few changes have been made. Council's made some motions on that. So, as we know, in April, that capital budget is sometimes a placeholder until we get some real numbers. This indicates more realistic numbers and some of the past motions that council has made. So we're just requesting council to adopt the amended 2023 capital budget as presented, please.
Paul's moving that again. All in favor? Carried. Moving on to item 9, bylaws and agreements. 9.1, bylaw 1088 LUO 2023, second and third reading. On the thing here, it has
Oh, okay. Well, I'll change that to the actual dates.
Okay. I just have to
When
say-
when Charity drafted it, she put
Okay.
those
Okay,
dates.
no, I
in.
just thought I'd just point that out, if that mattered or not.
I'll have to go find the Word documents on her computer somewhere.
Okay, so what's council wish to do? We move first reading already? On the third?
Move second reading?
Okay, Stan's gonna move second reading. All in favor? Carried. Somebody wish to move third reading? Amanda? All in favor? And that is carried.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the agenda, item 10, development, there is none, no correspondence, no conventions, conferences, workshops. Someone wish to move us into closed session? Tim, all in favor? Carried. Joe, are you in favor? Okay, Joe's opposed. Why is it moved up?